up?
Sup.
Oh, yours sounds good. I think it's coming. Is it coming? Coming to my computer though. Okay, talk again.
What's up?
One more time.
Sup.
It's coming to my computer. It should be coming through my headphone. Oh well. I guess the headphone jack on my microphone doesn't work. Okay.
So you put it in the back of the microphone?
Yeah.
Weird. Maybe your headphones suck.
No, I mean they're working now. Does my audio sound better?
Yeah, sounds great.
Like better than before I had a microphone?
Yeah, I'm hearing I can hear the shuffling. I think that's one of the things that you really get in because prior to it'd be like there'd be nothing, but you can hear
Oh, okay.
you can hear it's like whenever you get glasses for the first time, instead of seeing just a tree, you can see individual leaves.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. I don't have glasses.
Okay, well.
Nerd.
Well, equals MC squared.
Now we can turn our video on actual quality.
Hopefully.
Well, I mean, I'm not at Sophie's house, so.
That's true. That was super funny.
That was not funny. That was not fun to edit either. For the audience, never mind. It doesn't matter. It's boring. No one wants. Literally, no one's interested in that. We had some technical difficulties in one of the episodes, and I cut around it. It does not matter to anybody.
Yeah, it's that's the only thing you're gonna get out of that is people being like, "Cool."
Oh, awesome! A thing that we could never possibly have noticed. We didn't notice.
Wow.
Whoa!
Cool.
Please tell us more.
Yeah, it's like directors are like, yeah, and that scene took 14 takes. Wow.
How do you not have more money?
Cool. That's really tight.
You want to start the show?
Cool. Let's do it. Let's get this shenanigans rolling. Yep, let's hit it. Hey everyone, welcome to Solid. This is a podcast we talk about puzzles, codes, and the history of encryption. I'm Zach Johnson, and co-hosting with me, as always, is
Sam Cherry.
Hey Sam, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. We've got the live stream up. We've actually got video on it for the first time, even though it's 18 of 20 episodes. I have a microphone. We have video. It's almost like we're a real show.
It's almost, yeah, we've made it into the almost a real show part. It's just taken us several weeks, but now we've officially made it into almost a real show.
It's also quite late at night, so I'm drinking a rum and Coke. So this is going to be a great episode for me.
Dude, it's late at night, so I'm drinking this really, really rare, expensive Belgian beer. So it's pretty cool.
What for? Not for product placement, but because I'm curious. Oh, it's absolutely right. See that? I was trying to think. I was like, I know he's making a light beer joke, but is it like Budweiser's brewed in?
No.
Where's Budweiser? Budweiser's brewed in.
Dude, I have no
Russia.
idea. Is it?
No, Pabst Blue Ribbon is owned by Russians.
Wait, hold on.
Budweiser's not brewed in America, I don't think.
Why is it called America?
Let me explain to you what marketing is.
Oh, okay. Is it called Germany in Germany?
No, I think it's just because people love America and Budweiser. I'm pretty sure there's something about Budweiser's not brewed in America, but maybe the Budweiser Corporation will send me a cease and desist for that. But I know that Pabst Blue Ribbon which is what you're drinking, if that got missed. PBR is owned by a Russian company. They're not owned by America.
Really?
American.
It says established in Milwaukee, 1844.
It was established. It is no longer owned by people in Milwaukee.
I don't know, man. I really feel like we're going to get lots of flack in the comments.
What comments?
I don't know. The comments of this video.
Our fan base is characterized by never interacting with us. That is
they are the best at that.
Where is Budweiser brewed?
We're not talking about Budweiser. We're talking about PBR, right?
I know.
You're switching what you're talking about a lot.
No, I know that PBR is brewed in America.
But see, right here it says if I were to mail PBR something, like
Yeah.
congratulations, or a happy birthday card.
Yeah.
I would send it to P.O. Box 739 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
I'm just telling you they're owned by a Russian company. That doesn't mean their mail goes
Dude,
to Russia.
dude, I feel like we are really alienating our entire Milwaukee fan base right now. Like they are furious at us.
As a Budweiser trademark name, what? As the Budweiser trademark name is owned solely by the Czech beer maker Budweiser Budzer Anheuser-Busch, has a market share in the United States of 50.9% for all beer sold. That did not answer my question at all. I
No,
have no idea.
I don't know. You searched.
We can table this. We
Are
can
you,
table.
did you on coolfacts.com?
No, it's that little bit that comes up when you type something into Google. It's like, your question's so obvious, literally Google will answer it. We won't give you a webpage that'll tell you. We'll just tell you.
They actually have a guy at a desk at Google, just like you see him typing and then look over to the camera and just go like, oh, dude, it's this. Even goes right back to typing.
Even better when you're literally in the search bar and it pops down. You haven't even gotten to Google yet. You're in Google Chrome. Today I was searching when was the League of Nations formed, and I couldn't even press search. It popped out under it said, do you mean the League of Nations formed? Also, here is the answer to that question. So, thanks, Google. I'm an idiot.
Thanks, Google.
I was reading an article about.
Smarter than me.
I was reading an article about the Illuminati, and they were saying that they caused the communist revolution in Russia.
Mm-hmm.
And no, maybe I don't know. And they caused World War One in 1918. The dates they left out, but they caused World War One as a way to get back at Russia for not joining the League of Nations. World War One having started in 1918, and the League of Nations not being formed until 1919.
That could not have been a better segue into our episode today.
Great.
Okay.
Do almost any research, or do any research.
For this episode, I did tons of research, like more than usual.
I feel like that's just always our plea for lots of other people or major television networks. Do any research.
Oh yeah.
Do any
research.
Do any research. Any facet of the topic. Do research on that. Just any research.
Like
at all.
You know, like TV shows that do that. It's like they don't even give like the subject like the back cover. Like other people are just like, oh, probably.
Do any research. If you heard it on a subway from a guy kind of far away, that's not really research. Just do any research.
Any.
If some cool seventh grader explained it to you, that's not really research. Do any research.
If you,
in fact, it's an answer so easy to know. Google will tell you before you even search it.
If your little brother told you that his girlfriend told you that, but his girlfriend that totally goes to a different school, you wouldn't know her.
She's like 3 years older.
If
she said he was the best
from her, if you heard it from her, then you might need to do like a tiny.
That's not research.
That's not research. That's not research. Not going to say any names of any channels that may or may not fall into the subject of, I don't know, something that comes after a year in social studies. I don't know. You know,
historical type channels. If you're listening, any research.
If you're listening,
any.
If you're a part of the shadowy horde, please continue to not reach out and.
But maybe reach out to them and ask them to do any research. We need to start the show, though. We need to start the show.
We do need to start the show. Let's start the show. So, Sam, well, first off, I'll say that every week on Solve It, one of us sends the other one a puzzle for the other one to solve. And, Sam, I sent you a puzzle, and could you please explain that puzzle to the audience that may or may not be looking at it right now?
Sure. I have to pick it up. I always forget that part because I don't have it in front of me. Because I am bad at my job. My job at co-hosting a podcast.
The job that requires uh, you can't like slack off because you are 50% of the labor.
Yeah. Profile. I'm on the Solve It channel. Also tweet us, because if you tweet us a puzzle, you are almost guaranteed to get a response from me.
Oh yeah, dude, yeah. You
Or at
will.
least some of my time. You might not know it, but you will
You
get some of my time.
you will get a eye roll from me and a ton of Sam's time. And
Okay.
that's not to say that I don't appreciate your puzzles. It's that I just everyone is so out of my league.
Per episode 1, Zach gets puzzles. Also, yeah, our viewers send us puzzles that are like, I don't know, that's impossible. I have literally no idea what that is.
It's like it's people that are like it's
It's people
archaeologists
that
like
it's
sending
people that
us
should be hosting this show instead of us. People way more qualified to run a puzzle
dude,
podcast than us.
they're not as cool as us. So
Oh gosh, that's so many people. So you sent me a puzzle, and it is the back of a dollar bill.
yes.
And the tweet said something to do with listen up, sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple.
Wake up, sheeple, as it were. And right under the all-seeing eye on the back of the dollar bill, you wrote a bunch of symbols. A bunch of.
Yes.
Also, per the rules of the show, just to timestamp this a little bit. Although I heard that's what you're not supposed to do in a podcast. I don't know how to run a podcast.
I mean,
To timestamp this episode a little bit, we have to amend one of our rules.
what do we amend?
We can't talk about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
But now he's the president-elect of the United States, so I feel like we're kind of barring ourselves in if it's like, you can never talk about the president
Yeah.
for 4
Yeah, we
years.
really it's yeah,
We don't need to talk about it. I'm just saying I'd like the option.
how often in the last 18 episodes did we reference Barack Obama
That's
or
true.
or Chester A. Arthur? None. We didn't do any of that. So
Berwick
like we
Cleveland
could just
had non-consecutive terms, and we didn't bring him up at
we
all.
didn't say that one time. John Quincy Adams had a pet alligator. Never mentioned that. Not one time.
I did not know that. Other
I know
presidents who have won the Electoral College without winning the popular vote: Rutherford B. Hayes, George W. Bush, and the fourth one I don't remember.
Dude, well, that did not come up one time. So I feel like we could just coast through these next 4 years and / or the impeachment trials and just not say a word.
No, he's not going to get impeached. You don't get impeached for making people mad.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean,
no, I'm right.
One of my favorite things is there is this website called change.org, which is like a website I'm pretty sure ran by very adorable puppies that just want the world to be a better place.
Sure. But don't understand legislation.
Yeah, and like there's like top voted things, and one of them was impeach Donald Trump. That was like the top thing, and it was like, why? Because he's a jerk, and I was like,
yeah, I guess, but
I'm pretty sure that's in the Constitution. It says like it's like the president, the office of the presidency shall like da 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 da, and also will not be a jerk.
Right, and then they looked at all of history. I see. Here's the thing. This is what makes me feel secure in the fact that I might be a moderate. Is because when I'm talking to liberal people, I sound like a Bible-thumping conservative. And when I'm talking to conservative people, I sound like a bleeding heart liberal. And so I think that I might actually be a moderate. In that...
Or you just have really weird conversations with those people, you know.
Or I'm a contrarian and unbearable, which is probably the one that's true.
I really feel like that. I think we should explore that one a bit more.
John Quincy Adams, Rutherford B. Hayes, Benjamin Harris.
Hey, John Quincy Adams. I just said him. Benjamin Harris, the last president to have a Benjamin Harrison, the last president to have a beard.
Really? Mm-hmm. George W. Bush, and as of recently, Donald Trump.
D-Trizzle.
Anyway, he won't be impeached because that's stupid. But also, I didn't vote for him for president because I think that's stupid. This is why I'm a moderate, you know? I didn't
Yeah,
vote
I voted
for
for
him,
Harambe.
but I now think he should be the president because I believe in democracy.
That's
Oh, it's
true.
so fast how this is getting cut. It's so fast how fast is it getting cut. All of
Yeah,
this is getting cut.
all this is getting cut. We like it'll be like, hey everyone, welcome to
And that,
solve it, and like, and like we'll put in that little like doot, 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 like that little noise.
but that all to say, while John Quincy Adams and Rutherford B. Hayes have not come up, we have cut out an hour and a half of you and I discussing whether or not Donald Trump's from an alternate universe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we instituted the rule that we're not allowed to talk about him on the
That's
podcast, because it is
yeah, like,
quite a rabbit hole.
that was quite the rabbit
A
hole.
rabbit hole illustrated by the last 10 minutes of us talking about Donald Trump again.
He's such a character you can just discuss.
I agree with every part of that sentence.
He is such a now leader of the free world that we can discuss.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
Respect democracy.
Respect democracy.
God, it's cut so fast. It's getting cut so
Unlike
fast.
those Mexicans.
I'm glad you're taking advantage of the fact that all this is going away.
Unlike those coons.
No, but keep in mind that I will probably forget to take this off YouTube. Future teacher of children.
Oh man, cannot wait for them to dig deep into the files and be like, "Whoa, Mr. Johnson, we were reviewing all of your information, and in episode 18 of Solve It."
You're a total racist. So that's what the puzzle looks like.
Okay. Yes, and did you solve the puzzle?
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did.
Wow. Shout out to you, man. I really did not think that one was going to go over. I mean, never mind. It wasn't that much of a challenge. I was like, once you kind of knew the gig, and you were the kind of guy that knows the gig.
Also, it has an added component to it that was fascinating to me.
Oh yes, that will be the hard left turn that we will get to later.
Oh no! I didn't go into the history at all.
Oh, you didn't?
It's a puzzle component. Do you know this?
I might not. I spent so much time doing other things. Like,
do you know how it gets around frequency analysis?
Yeah, by having several.
We'll get into it.
Okay, yeah.
That was fascinating to me.
That's kind of why I thought you weren't going to solve it, because like it kind of transcends all those means. They're like, you can't just substitute cipher it or substitution cipher it.
You can if you find an academic paper talking about how to decipher it.
Yeah. But
which I did.
But like not on your own. Like you couldn't just look at it.
No.
Like, oh, and that really is like why this puzzle is so fascinating.
No, it's really.
And I can tell you, I can tell the audience what it is, because you know what it is, but I can tell the audience what it is.
You go.
What I sent you is called the Copiale cipher, and it is an encrypted manuscript containing 75,000 handwritten characters bound in a 105-page volume. This book was undeciphered for more than 250 years, but because we live in the future, computers were able to crack. The reason why we needed computers was because, unlike the substitution cipher that Sam was talking about, this cipher contains multiple codes for the same letter. So, for example, A could be one of 5 or 6 symbols, making it almost impossible to solve without the extra added help of either 1, knowing the code, or 2, having computers to just like scan through all the data and then finding all the possible matches for it. But in 2011, thanks to some crafty scientists in California, all 105 pages were cracked, and what they found in the book was bananas. Now, did you look at anything inside the Copiale book?
No, I watched a video on it, but I tried to avoid the history of it. I feel like it was something about... I know there's something involving a secret society. Mm-hmm. Also, you wrote it on the back of a dollar bill, and you said sheeple.
Yep, so you could just therefore assume that I'm going to get into some secret society nonsense.
Yeah, I typed in Illuminati enough that I'm definitely on somebody's list, which is cool, I guess.
Yeah, I think I've looked at enough information that if the Illuminati is real, which at the end of this episode you will determine is very real, then yeah, I'm definitely on some lists.
Yes.
Yeah. So I put so I put the symbols underneath the all-seeing eye on the dollar bill for a reason. And do you know what the name of the secret society is?
The New World Order? No, I don't.
No. The society is called the Oculists. And the book, yes.
Oh, they're that company that got bought by Facebook.
That's it. They are. That's them. The guys that were trying to do the Oculus Rift. Yeah, that's them.
Okay.
They came with that technology 260 years ago. So now, now in 2011, it just got out. So they're like, might as well sell.
It took a really long time for that Kickstarter to get funded, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess they had to wait for Kickstarter and the internet. They were like, we're sitting on this one.
And the technology. It was just like some guy in like a bar 260 years ago be like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be so cool?
Whoa, what if you put on a headset and then you could be in virtual reality?
What's virtual reality? What's a headset?
We just put like 5 candles together to make it bright in here, so I don't really know what any of that means.
Yeah, well, yeah, you work on that while I throw my actual feces out of this window into the street.
Sorry, we're kind of dealing with the French Revolution, so I don't really know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, you do that.
They're chopping people's heads off with a guillotine. I don't actually remember what time period you said or when the French Revolution was. I hope that's all right.
It is now because history doesn't matter. History is for losers.
It's true. It's for nerds. I am going to look it up, but you continue with your story.
Okay. The book contained the rituals and beliefs of a secret society known as the Oculists. The Oculists were a group of eye doctors led by Count Friedrich August von Witthelm. Yeah. Buckle up.
So cool. Eye doctors.
They were a group of eye doctors. And this came at a time period where secret societies were rampant. Like, secret societies essentially just existed as smart people getting together to talk about smart things. And it was just like a really dorky club where you could get together with your smart friends and just talk about literature and other nonsense. And they were believed to just be eye doctors. But after the decoding of the Copiale, the club kind of took on a different meaning because they found out what their rituals were. And the book reveals some pretty kooky stuff. Namely, the leader would wear a lot of eyeball jewelry, and for whatever reason, and they would seek to, quote, have their eyes open to knowledge. So like a lot of like eyeball puns and like eyeball related stuff. It reminds me a lot of, I don't know if this is going to go over the heads of all our viewers, but
trust me, we're not smart enough to go over the heads of all our viewers.
No, this is going to be a specific reference. Okay. Whenever I was growing up, I didn't have any friends, so I watched every single episode of The Simpsons over and over and over and over again.
I'm aware.
And there's an episode of The Simpsons called Homer the Great. It's in season 6. And it is where Homer joins a secret society. And it's just like them wearing like these very traditional robes and garments, but it's just these guys just like screwing around and drinking beer and playing ping pong. So that's kind of what I imagine the society was like, except everyone's like wearing eyeball jewelry. And
but they're just eye doctors.
Yeah. So I don't really, but this is in a time period where like they didn't know a lot about eyeballs yet. So I imagine they were just like, the eyeball like goes to the heart, which goes to the brain, which opens the true knowledge of blah, 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 blah. So I imagine like these guys are like the first eye doctors ever. And they're just like comparing notes. And also like, because it's an eyeball, like it's a pretty good like secret society thing to say like you're getting your eyes open to knowledge. And they're also like talking about other knowledge, but kind of like through the lens of your eyeballs, you know?
Lens?
Whoa. Yep, that's man, you're an oculist already.
You're telling me.
Actually, you're not an oculist because in order to join, there was a ritual that involved your eyebrows being plucked out, like not shaved off, like plucked out in order to increase your vision.
This sounds so made up.
No, and this is in the Copiale. And also there was some slight references to, but also some very heavy-handed references to Kabbalah. And
Okay, I'm back on track.
yep. So Sam, because I don't know anything about Kabbalah, do you know anything about Kabbalah?
I know it is a form of Jewish mysticism.
Yes. So essentially, what my research shows is that Kabbalah is like sorcery meets Jewish culture.
Yep.
So there's like they
Go.
kind of
Is this where
they
golems come from?
I don't know. I don't know anything about golems. I don't know anything about Smeagol's.
Not those are different. Golems are giant clay monsters that can be animated. This is Jewish folklore. Can be animated and defend your village. They're golems. It's a Jewish
Okay.
thing. It's also a Dungeons and Dragons thing, but it's a Jewish thing.
Okay, so that actually might be in Kabbalah.
Okay.
But yeah, Kabbalah is essentially just a Jewish mysticism where you would use some shady arts to bring about like mystic powers, but all in this kind of like Masonic way. But the big reveal in the Copiale is that this group was most likely another group entirely, but just went by a different name, or that the Oculists were the precursor to another secret society that is a lot more famous. And that society is named the Freemasons.
Oh.
What were you going to say?
I was drinking when you said that. I was gonna guess the Illuminati, but okay, the
Oh,
Freemasons.
no. We haven't got there yet. Buckle.
Wait
You
a
need to like
wait
you
a
need to
minute.
you need to stay buckled up.
The people that wrote this became the Freemasons and then did Pigpen. I know that we did an episode on Pigpen, and so I don't want to kind of poop on it, but like,
so
it
this
is
is
not as good as this.
so this is where the research takes a kind of a weird turn.
Okay.
In the Copiale, there's this reference to how they, and it's like it's written almost like a joke. It's written that they were the precursor to the Freemasons. Essentially,
Oh, sounds like a joke.
it was kind of like a humble brag, saying that like, oh yeah, like we were the Freemasons before the Freemasons, and like I think it was just like a joke that the Freemasons ended up being a more popular and prominent secret society, but the Oculus were like jokingly taking credit for it.
Because they make dad jokes and wear eyeball jewelry, and they're
Because
like,
they made, yeah, dad, yeah.
oh, see, I took this the other way. I took this as I know that we look like silly guys with eyeball jewelry, but actually we're the precursors to the Freemasons. So y'all better listen.
For the sake of this episode, that is exactly what I'm going to say happened. Because Sam,
Okay.
as you know, I like to do my homework for these episodes. Like
Sure.
I learned how to write runes. I delved into the Cold War espionage things, and
Sure.
I learned how to tie knots in a secret code called quipus.
Sure.
So I could tell you that the Freemasons are a worldwide respected fraternal organization with illusion. Hold on.
Yep.
I could tell you that the Freemasons are a worldwide respected fraternal organization with an illustrious group of alumni that focuses on free thinking and bettering their communities with no sinister intent. Or
It's the least suspicious thing to say.
I could take the hardest left turn this podcast has ever seen.
Oh, that just sounds like a right turn at that point.
Well then, let's take the hard right turn then.
Hard right turn.
And I'm going to tell you this right now. The Freemasons are, in fact, a front for something truly diabolical.
If this is lizard people, I'm gonna freak out.
Well, the Freemasons are a secret society built on Satanism,
Okay.
black magic, and world domination.
I'm here.
And, well, they were until some Masons decided the Masons weren't being Masony enough. So some of the most Masons decided to make a secret society inside of their secret society. And that secret society is called
The Illuminati.
the Illuminati.
Where does Rockefeller Records come in?
Oh, it's coming at the end.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. This isn't
Oh,
Illuminati
I'm
yet.
so excited.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to talk about the Rockefeller records, but I'll talk about everything leading up to, like, and how the Illuminati is actually in control of everything that we do today.
You know what's great?
What is great?
Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll wait. Never mind. Go
Then
ahead.
you can throw in all your Illuminati knowledge as I'm throwing it in, because
No. Well,
one thing that the viewers will maybe recognize is that Sam and I in college used to hang out, and some of these would just be me and Sam watching conspiracy videos
sure.
just for forever,
Sure.
and it was incredible. So we have a lot of knowledge about this. Eh,
Gosh, I don't have a lot of knowledge about
we have
anything.
we have a lot of knowledge about spirit science.
Yeah. Oh man, guys. First of all, we're gonna have a little section called Sam's recommendations slash follow up from
Sam
the last few episodes.
Sam's recommendations.
But can I give you a preview? If you haven't seen Spirit Science, get that in your freaking eyeballs. It is
Oculus.
get that in your Oculus.
Shape, pluck out your eyebrows to better increase your vision, and then watch.
Here's the nothing makes me more happy angry than this. Really don't you don't need to see all the videos. You just need the one where they talk about the history of the world. I'll tell you, there's a section where they talk about how the Jews are time travelers from the future who fought with the Martians on Atlantis. Totally straight-faced. This is like a totally real thing that people believe, and it makes me so happy angry. I just don't know. I can't feel my feelings. I'm like, I'm just so mad and so happy all at the same time.
And that concludes the section called Sam's recommendations.
It doesn't. So, there are much more recommendations.
Oh no, well, it includes this week's Sam recommendations. So, welcome back. We're assuming that you have used this time to watch all of Spirit Science, and that you are now on par with the greatest conspiracy theory of all time. And what I'm about to tell you is the second greatest conspiracy of all time.
Okay.
The Illuminati are the final secret society, the perfect, fully formed one, beginning all the way back with Moses, who, guess what, actually didn't want to bring the Jews out of Egypt into the Promised Land, but rather he wanted to bring them back into Egypt and start doing black magic.
I'll tell you, if this ends with the Jews own the bank, I'm just going to be angry. If this is anti-Semitism about Jews owning the banks, I'm just going to be angry. I'm only going to be angry.
No, it goes much deeper than that, Sam. Come on, open your mind.
I'm going to be angry. Go ahead.
So, Moses and his group of Jews doing black magic, they become that moves on further, and another secret society is formed trying to keep that secret while also at the same time looking for the Holy Grail. And that society is called the Templar.
Sure.
And the Templar, they're a Masonic ritual society, and the Knights Templar are trying to find the Holy Grail, guard the Holy Grail, da-da-da-da-da-da. And they are moved deeper into the rituals with the Freemasons. And then the Freemasons have a secret society and a secret society, and that is called the Illuminati. And they are perfect because they want to do four things. The Illuminati wants to eliminate all government, eliminate all private property, eliminate all family, and eliminate all religion. Because if you eliminate those four things, there's nothing that the people can hope in except for the Illuminati. And then they have true power. These have always been the goals of the Illuminati, and they are the only ones who have actually done it. That's right. We are living in 2016. Don't want to timestamp our podcast too much.
Sure.
But right now, you are living in a world where the Illuminati has already eliminated these four things, and you don't even know about it.
Right, because of all the churches and family and all those things that you said didn't exist.
Nope.
I went to a church today.
Nope. You
No,
didn't. You went to a front.
I don't know. We took communion and stuff. I think it's a church. Go ahead.
Classic sheep. So, how are the Illuminati doing this, and how have they already done this? What you need to do is obviously follow the money. So the Illuminati have
just going to end in me being angry, isn't it?
No. Maybe, I don't know.
I'm already mad. Go ahead.
The Illuminati has paid for every major war since the French Revolution.
Sure.
And they establish control, and those who don't play ball don't play at all. So, for example, there was a guy a long time ago. So a very notable example is a guy by the name of Abraham Lincoln. So the way that the Civil War was supposed to go was that the South was supposed to become independent of the Americas. And then France was going to come in and buy all of the South, and it was going to make it one of their colonies. But because Abraham Lincoln and he united the Union back together, they had to get rid of him because he didn't play ball. So they shot him in the head. Another notable example comes. Wait, okay. Where did I lose you, Sam? How does this not make sense?
So the Illuminati plan
The Illuminati
was for France to buy the South.
Yes.
Okay. But the Union won.
Mm-hmm. And that wasn't supposed to happen.
Now wait a minute. But don't they run the U.S. government? So wouldn't Abe Lincoln be their guy?
The thing is, they paid for both sides. The Illuminati paid for the North and the South. They were funding both sides of the war.
I'll tell you, there was a lot of starvation. They were not funding it very well.
No. Well, that was the idea, is they were going to have the South be brought to its knees, and then they were going to have France come in and save the day by buying it. But that dumb Abraham Lincoln had to show up and you reunite the Union back together.
Well, he's not Voltron. Like, he wasn't like running. He's not like killing all. Never mind. I don't need to talk about why that doesn't make any sense. There were like lots of soldiers who did stay. It wasn't like one dude in a mech suit. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Go ahead. I'm not going to go through every point of why that's stupid. I'm not going to go through every section of why that doesn't make any sense.
Because there are no sections about why this is stupid. This is all fact, and you are just having the wool pulled right over your eyes, Samuel.
I can deal with everything, but the Jews run the banks and media. That's the only part that you're gonna lose me on.
So another example comes way later, and that is from our very own U.S. President, John F. Kennedy. Oh. John F. Kennedy was well known for saying this quote, and this is a direct quote from John F. Kennedy. "For we are opposed around the world by a monolithic and ruthless conspiracy that relies on covert means of expanding its sphere of influence, on infiltration instead of invasion, on subversion instead of elections, on intimidation in front of free choice, on guerrillas by night instead of armies by day. It is a system which has conscripted vast human and material resources into the building of a tightly knit, highly efficient machine that combines military, diplomacy, intelligence, economic, scientific, and political operations." And he was obviously talking about the Illuminati.
And not the Soviet Union, right.
And not the Soviet Union. And
pass. Oh, too easy. Pass.
And 7 days later,
died.
JFK was shot in the head because he spilled the beans. He said too much about the Illuminati, by not referencing their names at all. He said too much about the Illuminati, and the Illuminati had to take him out because he didn't play ball.
Pass. Too easy.
He almost revealed the secrets of the Illuminati. He almost revealed it, so because of that, they had to take him out.
God, this is so stupid.
I don't know why this is stupid. The rest of the...
Go ahead. I appreciate how much you're committing to this. But
you have to. The rest of the presidents, all of them, other than those two, have played ball. Even FDR, who was a level 32 Mason, whatever the frick that means.
Go ahead.
But he was a level 32 Mason.
Like, so because of that, is that like RuneScape? Like, what does that even mean?
I don't know. He
out of
went
what? 33? 31?
Probably.
1,000?
He was the president. Yeah, so he was like probably. I don't know what the levels of the Freemason are, but I'm imagining. I mean, 32 is a lot of levels. You get to go to level 1, level 2, level. They get to go all the way to 32. He's probably high up. Like, he's definitely the Illuminati.
But wait, do you start at 30? Or you start at 1, or do you start at 50 and you work your way up to 1?
I think you start at 1. because it's like, why would you start at a black belt and then make your way down to like a white belt? Like you're definitely like a white belt and make your way up to like a level 32 black belt.
Okay.
He's a level 32 black belt Mason.
Okay.
So what is the goal of the Illuminati? To establish and this is a direct quote from George H.W. Bush, who said in a State of the Union, to establish a new world order. He said it. He said new world order.
What was the context of that?
The Illuminati, obviously.
No, what was that? Okay, never mind. Okay. Okay.
Listen, I'm set in this left turn. You're not going to get any accurate historical context out of me.
No, we're at a hard right turn.
Oh, that's right.
We're at a hard downturn. That's where we are, because we've gone so far left that we are actually now just in the downward direction.
The thing was, I was actually explaining this to someone the other day about your theory of the bell curve and how brilliant I think that is. Like, just like you
I didn't make up the bell curve, just so we're clear.
Bell curve, yeah, but like your thing of how you're this way and then you go all the way around the bell curve and then you're essentially the same way but just with different motivations. Like, yeah, we've spun all the way around. Like, we're so left.
Usually the context is it's like teenage rebellion, but just understanding of a concept where you have an idea with almost no information. And then you start getting information and it seems like there's lots of holes in that topic or belief system. Mm-hmm. And then you can, so that it would be at the top. So disbelief being the top of the bell curve, but the middle of the information axis. And then you continue to go. And as you get more information after that point, you go further down on the disbelief axis. So in fact, the more you know, now the more you believe that, because you've filled in enough holes and now it seems super clear. And now all the pieces are fitting together, much like learning about the Illuminati.
Yeah. So yeah, we've gone so far left that we're actually dipping very deep into the truth.
Right, where it's like, oh yeah, there's probably a government in control. And then you learn about it and you're like, oh, this is real stupid. And then you keep getting information and you're like, oh, wait a minute. This makes perfect sense.
Yeah, on the deep web.
I work for a company, we make videos. And there was a section of a video that we were making that had to do with the deep web. And definitely there was a picture of an iceberg. And
what else is the deep web other than just pictures of icebergs?
Zach and I for a period of time just talked about that. Actually, I know exactly why. It was because Childish Gambino came out with an album called Because the Internet, and then had a tour called the Deep Web Tour. But anyway, we were really into the deep web for a little bit of time. And we were like two 16-year-olds like with ear piercings. Like, exactly. We're so edgy.
I
just curious of like, what is this? And every time you Google the deep web and go to Google Images, all it is pictures of icebergs. Like, that's the only illustration anyone can explain is with icebergs.
Yeah, like use your future box right now and just look at the deep web, and you will see exclusively
so many icebergs. But we were doing a video about searching the deep web, and there were pictures of icebergs. I thought it was so funny.
So the Illuminati has been trying to establish this new world order to make us all slaves and sheep to the shepherds, which are the people that are controlling the world. Ugh. And they have been doing this forever, but especially since you're going to love this, Sam.
Whoever was writing this theory was born and doesn't understand what a status quo bias is. Is that what it is?
No, but they've been doing it.
No, I think it's a status quo bias. Go ahead, sorry.
They've been doing it since World War II. So all the Illuminati got together and they said, hey, how are we going to get the world together?
Hold on, what does that even mean? Are they like just like a guy who's also a mailman, but he's in a little Illuminati beeper goes off on his pocket watch? He's like, oh shit, I have a meeting. All the Illuminati got together.
They had their Illuminati dance, and then they decided to discuss some business while they were there.
I have to quit cursing on the show. It just makes me so angry.
So, World War II essentially was all a lie. World War II, every single side, the Nazis, America, Japan, Russia, Italy, everyone, they were all funded by the Illuminati. And
Whatever.
the entire purpose of this was so that the Illuminati would create the United Nations. And then that's one step closer to having a world government,
Sure.
which is exactly what they want. And then after that, some other things started happening. The Illuminati made up communism. And essentially the reason why they made up communism.
The viewers can't see this, but I made a very perplexed face right there.
Like, because Karl Marx, Illuminati.
Sure.
They made up they made up communism, and it was to have a system contrary to capitalism, and it was designed to fail so that people would become more consumeristic, so that they would start buying more, becoming more like sheep, and then this continues further and further and further.
Wait a minute.
Hold on.
You're suggesting to me that the way to make people more capitalist, to avoid people going, maybe capitalism isn't great. Let's try a different method.
Yes.
You just wrote a whole book explaining them a different method, so they didn't have to even think of it themselves.
Exactly.
They just had this quick out of communism that you knew wouldn't work, but also doesn't that just let every 16-year-old with a Che Guevara poster yell at their dad?
But that once again is the bell curve that you're like, I don't know about I don't know a lot about like capitalism. It's like, oh, capitalism sucks. Oh wait,
it's so
capitalism rocks.
Okay, I don't think sideline about the Illuminati. I actually think that's what learning about capitalism is a bell curve. Because you think, buying goods and services, I'm American, this seems great. And then you're like, no, man, the man's the worst. And you're like, no, being the man's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, the man is the best.
Free market is great.
Yeah, so the Illuminati created a separate system to show people, and it was designed to fail so that other people would see that, like, because people were kind of disenfranchised with capitalism for a while. And then the Illuminati was like, "Oh, we need to make a failing system and advertise it as the only other way." And then people saw it as the only other way, and then it failed miserably. So they're like, "Oh man, back to capitalism."
If I know anything about the 1950s, it's people not liking consumer products.
Yep. But it was just to establish more control over the population, and the Illuminati is still working today in more mysterious ways, but all with the same purpose. So the way they're working right now is through the Middle East and ISIS. And that is they created them so that they would create a central enemy for all of the world to unite against. Like in The Watchmen, I don't want to ruin The Watchmen for anyone.
Very good.
Spoiler alert. In the comic book, it ends with one of the characters, Ozymandias, making a giant alien that comes down and destroys major cities. And it was to unite all the people together against the aliens. So what the Illuminati is doing right now is uniting all the people against one common evil, because as we all know, the conflict in the Middle East is so easy. It's so easy to understand. And it's just the boogeyman is like one common evil.
Well, Zach, it's so easy to understand, and never mind, I don't have a joke. Your joke is better.
So the Illuminati is all working through the European Union, through creating a central enemy, and through creating capitalism to buy from other countries' goods, and it is all to create 10 kingdoms. And although all the research I did not mention what the 10 kingdoms were, they did mention 4 of them.
Sure.
And it is the European Union, which, as we all know, is extremely strong right now. The Australian Union, which I'm assuming is just Australia.
And New Zealand.
And New Zealand, and maybe some pieces of Indonesia.
Antarctica, I guess.
And this is the big one that people are most scared about. The North American Union. And it's all to unite all the continents together under one thing, you're missing
3 continents.
Yeah, well, there's also the African Union. There's also the whatever union. There's all those other unions.
South America,
Yeah, but there's 10 kingdoms, Sam.
Asia. We're at 6. We're at 6 and we're out of land on the Earth.
Antarctica, obviously, idiot.
Okay, fine. So we're at 7. The North Pole.
The moon.
The moon.
And wherever
Bizarro Earth.
Yeah. Yeah, the square Earth, as it gets on the other side of the sun.
Other side of the sun. Of course.
Yeah,
those are the 10 kingdoms. Never mind. I retract my comment. Bizarro Earth is obviously the 10th kingdom. It's a little discriminatory that Bizarro North America doesn't get its own kingdom, but
Bizarro Earth
is all kind of lobbed in together.
Yeah, the Illuminati is incredibly racist against the Bizarro people. Yeah. They're like, you guys just get one kingdom.
Well, their Superman is rather stupid, so you know. I mean,
yeah, it's true. I'm thinking he's not stupid. He talks opposite because, as we all know, if you're on the other side of the sun, it's everything you say. English is all the languages happen, but just the opposite words.
Have you seen Bizarro Superman? He looks like a stupid zombie.
Yeah, because that's what happens on the other side of the sun, because it's always cold over there.
Why would it be always cold?
Because you're on the other side of the sun.
You're in the exact same position, distance from the sun.
I don't think so.
Okay, if you're on the other side of the sun from us, like you're in the mathematical opposite side of the sun.
Yeah, but your planet's also square.
Sure, fine. It wouldn't always be cold. It would just be whatever our planet would be in 6 months.
Yeah.
Because we rotate around the sun.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't always
but their planet's square, so.
All right, you got me. Whatever.
So the idea is to create the 10 kingdoms that we mentioned.
Yeah,
And once you create the 10 kingdoms, you would then unite them all under one world order, a new world order done all by the Illuminati. And this is going to be one of my favorite parts of the podcast, is this one thing that Sam and I talk about quite frequently, is that the Illuminati is vain. And because they are vain, they like to drop hints.
Oh my gosh.
And they drop hints especially in music.
It like literally makes so little sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why? Why would you do that though? But why would you do that? What do you get?
So
Go ahead with the show.
Big name artists like Beyonce, Jay-Z, Kanye West, Justin Bieber, Lady Gaga, Katy Perry, Rihanna, Miley Cyrus, and Madonna, they all leave clues and hints inside of their music videos and inside of their Super Bowl halftime shows to lead people to the true fact that they are, in fact, Illuminati. And you can tell that by Jay-Z lifting up the triangle sign. And most of these are because on album covers, they cover one eye. Like a lot of it's like covering one eye. That's like the main thing, which is a callback to the Oculists.
No.
And it's all for us to connect the pieces.
Why? But why?
Because they're vain. Because they're vain, Sam.
What does that mean? I know what the word vain means, but
they can't contain the fact they're in the Illuminati, so they have to be like, oh, let's drop some hints.
Here's what I'm saying. She had Delta, so you know she thought that dynasty sign. That's all I need to know. That's the only argument I need. She had Delta. You know she thought that dynasty sign. That's all I need. The Rock's forever. That's all I need.
Gosh, you have fallen prey. Yet another sheep led to the slaughter. All these clues in front of you at all times, Sam, and you're just letting them fly right past you.
Can I give you a counter argument?
Yes, you may.
I made a song with Coldplay. Next thing I know, Jay made a song with Coldplay. Oh, fuck, I don't remember the words of that song. You know what I'm talking about? Big Brother? Rock is forever.
Yeah.
I have to cut that out because I cursed again. I curse every episode now.
What's the thing about...
I'm like, no way. Translate Espanol, no way, Jose.
What's the... I'm going to say, there's one line in Kanye's song where it says, they confuse us with some bullshit like the New World Order.
I don't know that one.
There's one... Yeah, and Beyonce, with the very first words of her very first single from Lemonade, is y'all hate us corny with that Illuminati mess.
There you go.
Like, which, you know what? Isn't that something a person in the Illuminati would say?
No, because it doesn't make any sense. Doesn't make any sense.
My favorite is when I did research.
Here's the thing. You don't like black people. That's what you. I don't think what you're saying.
And now we're actually getting into the possible realness of it, which is now I'm not advocating for this because I believe in Illuminati, but another possible another possible explanation would be like, yeah, a black person is popular. There must be a reason behind that.
Yeah,
like
they couldn't possibly just be successful. Work hard.
Yeah. Kanye West, who is just the worst and a no talent jerk, would never in a million years become would have made his way to this status of fame if it hadn't been for a outside force acting on his behalf.
Yeah, he must be in the Illuminati.
He must be in the Illuminati.
There's no way that black people could succeed. Yeah, it's a really racist. And I mean, the same thing with the Jews. Like, the Jews run the banks. The Jews run the media. Really?
Yeah.
Really? Like, black people and Jewish people, some of the most persecuted people groups in history. Really? You think they're behind this great conspiracy controlling the world? They probably wouldn't have let, like, the Holocaust happen.
But, this
they
actually...
probably wouldn't have let that happen.
Yeah, Sam, you're going to get so mad. We're definitely going to have to cut this out.
I'm already mad.
No, there's nothing like this out. Like, one of the things I saw in my research, and it was one of those things like my jaw hit the floor. I was like, you cannot be serious. They said that, like, the Illuminati made the Holocaust happen so that, like, the Jews would have a free ticket forever.
It's literally so stupid. Also,
yeah,
that didn't happen.
I was like,
they didn't have a free ticket. It didn't happen.
It was bananas. Like, it was just like, oh my gosh. I was with my roommate, and there were several times where my roommate got to know me really well in that moment, because there were a lot of times when we were watching this. Also, if you ever look up Illuminati anything on YouTube,
I do often.
One, they'll always say documentary, and two, they'll always be like 3 hours long.
They're so long.
Like, yeah, like I'm like there's no updates. There's no like Illuminati for dummies. It's all like da 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 da. And I watched like 2 or 3 of these. There's like pieces of them. Every single person has like a different view of like what they're doing. And this is like a hodgepodge of the most ridiculous things that I found. Or like, even like, it's so hard to like find the things that are like goofy about it, because like at some point there has to be like a timeline you have to construct a story off of. And none of them had a timeline. It was just like, oh yeah, and then this happened probably. Like, where are you getting this information?
And it all boils down to like, then we get to modern times, and it just becomes like kind of racist, and it's like, oh, you don't understand why other people are more successful than you. No, also, you kind of don't like black people.
No, and that's also like the thing.
More sense.
No, well, the thing is, like, essentially, I genuinely believe that, like, prior to the creation of the internet, like, there was no Illuminati research. Like, it wasn't anything, because like, because the transfer of information would have been so difficult. Like, in order to like compare notes with people, you would have to like go out of your way to compare notes with people, and like no one is going to put forth that much effort. But the internet has made like the conspiracy theorists just lazy and in connection with other people that are also just crazy. And because of that, like, they have just concocted this insane story, and most of it happened out of, because the thing is, like, if you watch any documentaries in huge ass air quotes, you watch any documentaries like just right after 9/11.
Just call them videos. They're just videos. They're not documentaries.
If you watch any of them like around the time of 9/11, they are, for the most part, like pretty tame. Like, they're like they're not like going all the way back to Moses and black magic. But just like over the course of like the last 16 years, like, they've had so much time to like brew in this, that they have just created this insane story, just all by like other people comparing notes, and no fact checking is happening. Like, yeah, well, blankety blank from blank blank said this, so it must be true. Throw it right in the story. And then like their research is essentially just like people just saying nonsense. And,
well, right. I might have cut this. We said this at the very beginning of the show, and I'll just, in case I keep it in, I'll make this really short. But I was reading an article about the Illuminati today, just for the show. I was reading an article about the Illuminati today, and they were saying that the Illuminati caused World War One to get back at Russia for not joining the League of Nations.
Yeah, like
Keep in mind, League of Nations started in 1919, and World War One started in 1918, and it was like, what are you doing? Like, that's not. You didn't do any research. Like, what are you talking about? How did you not look that up at all?
Yeah, like
At all.
You put fingers to keys and you type that and like you had possibly other tabs open. And you never
I
thought
know
to be
you
like,
were on the internet. It's a web page. I know you were on the internet.
hold on. It might be in my best interest to just click open another tab and see if I can't solve this myself. Oh, this entire thing is completely made up. Oh, okay, well, I'm just not going to waste my time with this.
Like, you can think the reptiles, because I can't prove that, I guess, other than, like, Occam's razor. But, like, yeah, I can't prove that all the world leaders are not reptiles also. Whatever. But
Yeah.
I can definitely tell you that the League of Nations, or that the World War One was not a reaction to the League of Nations. Because time is linear. Like, what do you mean? I don't know. Tell me how something.
We're getting off track. Yeah, you did, which means you know exactly where this is going.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I do know the answer.
That's good. So all of these hints lead us to the puzzle, which is on the back of the dollar, and you're going to love this.
Sure.
I sent you the pyramid because the all-seeing eye is a reference to the true founders, which is the oculus. It's the all-seeing eye, the diamond, and it is the all-seeing eye referencing the oculus. But what is scarier is oh man, this is going to blow your mind. What is scarier is what is on the other side of the dollar. The dollar is trying to warn us what's going on all the time. On the other side,
Why? But why would the dollar be trying to warn us? Why would you?
Because the Illuminati is vain. The Illuminati is vain.
What does that even mean? They just say whatever. Tell your story. Why would you put clues on the dollar? For what? For what? Like, what do you get? Whatever.
You get people to join the Illuminati, and they become
what? All right, whatever.
I don't know. Okay, so what is on the other side of the dollar?
Okay, well, this is a podcast, so you need to say words. But what you're showing me is the other side of a dollar, which is the seal of the United States of America, which is an eagle clutching. I can barely only see it, but I think it's
it's
from
clutching,
memory.
and I guess you just didn't. Yeah, you should know this from memory.
No, I know this from memory. It's arrows in one talon, and it's I believe olive branches in the other.
Yes,
for peace and justice.
Yes. So, and this is what's going to blow your mind. That bird isn't an eagle at all. It's not an eagle. That bird is a phoenix. And what that phoenix does is because what does a phoenix do? What does a phoenix do, Sam?
Will be on fire, number one.
It beats on fire, but then it rebirths. Like, so a phoenix catches on fire and it is born again immediately.
It doesn't look like that.
See, okay, just come on, Sam. It is obviously a phoenix. The phoenix symbolizes the death of the United States and the rebirth of the New World Order.
Sure.
My favorite part was one of the documentaries, big air quotes, the documentaries that I said that was like its closer. Its closing statement was like, "Buckle up, guys."
Because buckle up.
No, but it was because you know those documentaries, they're never trying to be silly. They're just like one person being like, "And if you look at all the evidence, you will very quickly see that you have been living in a world that is not your own." Like, it's always like so over the top serious.
I watched a documentary one time. Why do I keep saying documentary? I watched a video.
Because that's what they're called.
There's a video one time that was explaining how some of the wreckage in a clip from Superman Returns had the same flight number as the Malaysian flight that went missing. And that was an Illuminati plot.
Illuminati plot.
Oh,
they were trying to warn us for whatever they were
trying to tell us that plane was going to go missing. One, terrible. as someone who co-hosts a podcast about codes, terrible code.
Didn't even try.
Number two. Well, I don't have a number two. That's just, I don't know, whatever. Get to the puzzle, man.
So, Sam,
Yeah.
the main question of this podcast is, have I convinced you to believe in the Illuminati?
Not even a little.
Yeah, me neither. And this is the point of the podcast where I tell our viewers that if you believe in conspiracy theories, shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to us alienating that side of our viewership.
You really might want to think about how you feel about race relations and what black people can do in America.
Because
Side note.
Because what I think, and what I believe Sam also thinks, is that conspiracies are simple solutions to complex geopolitical problems.
Sure.
Because it is always much easier to pick one problem and blame the boogeyman instead of the true complexities behind everything that happens.
Point to our episode last week about the overwhelming complexities of American society.
Yes, exactly.
Which is much more, as you could hear from our exasperated attempts at explanations, actually explaining how American society works is much more difficult than...
Yeah. My hatred of conspiracy theories really genuinated around just how quickly people were going to blame the Illuminati for mass tragedies because it's much easier to blame a pure evil than to accept the fact that the world is in itself chaotic, and no matter what you do, you can never be 100% safe. And the conspiracy theories are a way of saying that because you had the knowledge of evil, that it can't hurt you. Because if you know what's going to happen, then you can predict that, like you can stay safe from the bad things. But in that, you are not accepting that the world is in itself completely chaotic, and that like bad things happen to good people and and like, but if you just blame one central unit on that, then you can just very easily say it's like, oh, it was pure evil working to do this thing and thing and thing and thing. And although, yeah, it doesn't make sense. Well, it doesn't make sense because that was the Illuminati's plan.
Right. You just don't have all the pieces. If you saw all the pieces, you would know that actually this makes sense. And it's like, sorry, it doesn't. Like, I mean, like, you know, yeah. No, I agree with you.
So this worldview that I have will help you solve my puzzle. Due to the complexities of this puzzle and the absence of a supercomputer, you would need a decoder ring. And I'm still very attached to the Shadowy Horde. So yet again, I didn't have to do it this week because, Sam, you solved it all by your own. But when this episode releases, I will send out a code key to our Twitter so you guys can follow along and possibly write one of these ciphers yourself, because I love not hearing from you, Shadowy Horde. And you can get this either on our Twitter, or if you want to get in contact with us again, we have our everything. We have our MySpace, we have our website, we have our email, which is solveitpodcast@gmail.com. And if you want to get in contact with us, there are so many ways to do it. So yeah, if you want to tweet us, Instagram us, smoke signal us something, go for it. Because as I look at our data from our episodes, the horde grows. The horde gets stronger and stronger each week. So
we'll cut this out. And also, our one viewer is Sophie, if you're wondering.
Oh,
she's so sweet.
You guys are still dating?
We are still dating. She actually she spent the weekend here.
Weird.
It was wonderful. But I will cut this out because it's vain. But what did our numbers go up or down from the last episode?
Our numbers went down for last episode.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
because we talked about The Wire for an hour.
Yeah, we don't do.
What are they now?
Well, right now, let's see. We're still hovering around 300.
Oh,
like
cool.
That's so it's like it went down, but like not like it's we're still like, so it went from 340 to 330. So like,
okay, whatever.
Like not like a big situation.
Cool.
Yeah, we're
That's
still
fine.
we're still very much in the green. So yeah. While Sam is pretending to solve that puzzle, I will say yet again that you can find us on our website, solidpodcast.com. You can email us at solidpodcast@gmail.com. We have our Twitter, our Instagram, our MySpace, and any other social media site you can think of. You can find us on Tinder, Bumble. You can find
cannot
us
find
on
me on Tinder or Bumble.
Match.com, OkCupid.
None of those. Exactly.
No, you can find Solid Podcast. That's how I advertise. That's how I get most of our viewers. It's just swiping right on everyone, but just as Solid Podcast.
Well, if you're wondering if you've ever matched with Solid Podcast on Tinder, it is not me.
If you've ever matched with a triangle that says some words under it, then yeah, that's not a person. Those are two guys.
Well, it's one guy. You're matching with Zach.
It's me and one who is in a very committed, happy relationship.
I'm in a very committed, happy relationship.
And also rate and review us on our iTunes. We really like your guys' rate and reviews. And yeah, if you're a part of the Shadowy Horde, get in contact with us or be a member of the Shadowy Horde and continue to grow and also not be in contact with us.
Yeah, hulking shadowy mass. Also, this would be a good time for Sam's recommendations. Although for the life of me, I cannot remember one of them. The first one is, gosh, what is it about? Okay, the first one is a video by CGP Grey that just came out called The Rules for Rulers. It's really good, and it explores some of the ideas that we talked about in our last episode about the wire, just about how power works and how rulers rule. Zach, did you watch that? I told you to watch it. Did you watch it?
No.
No, obviously no.
Also, I don't remember you recommending that to me.
I did.
Okay, well then.
I had another recommendation, but I don't know what it is right now. There was, we talked about power. Well, never mind. I might cut this whole section because I don't remember. But yeah, if you liked last week's episode, watch Rules for Rulers, and there's a couple follow-up videos from CGP Grey that should be coming out, but I, at the time of the recording, don't know how many that'll be, so just go to his channel. It's really good. The Rules for Rulers is really good. I think it was another YouTube thing. Damn it. That's the only way I get any media is YouTube, so I assume it's
Yeah.
Oh, maybe it was a podcast. Oh, never mind. I remember what it was, but it ended up not being good. It was 99% Invisible, which is a podcast. They did an article on decoding gravestones, and I wanted to recommend that to people, and then I read it, and it was just like, clasped hands is a symbol for prayer. It wasn't actual codes. It was just understanding. They should have used the word understanding and not decoding, because there were no codes to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do that again, because now I remember what both are. So, also, as just a recommendation, if you liked last week's episode about power and the dynamics of power and that sort of thing, check out CGP Grey's new video called The Rules for Rulers. He's got a couple follow-up episodes coming out. I don't know how many there are going to be, and then one of them has come out, when we're recording this. But check out that video. It's really good, and it kind of explores some of the topics we talked about on how power works and how you sustain power. It's really interesting. So if you liked last week's episode about The Wire, check that out. It's really good.
Cool. So with that in mind, Sam, you said earlier that you solved my puzzle. And in light of all of this information about the truth of the Illuminati, Sam, what does the Copiale cipher on the back of the dollar bill say?
Conspiracies are dumb. That's not my thoughts. I mean, that is what I think, but no, that's the actual answer. The answer is conspiracies are dumb. Also,
Yep.
I think conspiracies are dumb.
Yep.
And kind of racist.
Yep.
Some of them are kind of racist.
I was gonna say that, but I couldn't fit it all in the dollar.
Right. The ones about the moon being hollow aren't really racist. They're just stupid. And the ones about like Queen Elizabeth being a lizard isn't really. I mean, maybe it's racist. I don't know. But the ones about The Rock, or about Jay-Z and Rihanna and Kanye West being in the Illuminati is pretty racist.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, conspiracies are dumb.
Yep. In conclusion, if you've taken one thing away from this episode, is that conspiracies are dumb.
Boop, boop. All right, we're done.
Okay.
Did
You
you
know what
get
I
an outro
forgot?
joke?
Nope. Have we done one about 7 yet?
I don't think so.
Okay, let's do one about that.
Oh wait, that one's so obvious.
What do you mean?
And join us next week when Sam
When-
tells us what's in the box.
I might say that.
That's obviously what it is.
I was gonna say, join us next week when Sam teaches you how to use the 7 deadly sins to solve your wife's murder.
Or just to solve what's in the box.
Just to solve what's in the box.
What's in the box?
Thanks. Bye.
What's in
Yeah,
the
we should do that.
box?
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
say what's in the box and you say what's in the box and I'll say thanks. Bye. Thank you guys so much for joining us this week on Solve It. My name is Zach Johnson. I'm co-hosting with Sam Cherry. You can find us on our website, solidpodcast.com, or on any number of our social media sites. You can get in contact with us at Solid Podcast. Oh. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Solid Podcast. I'm Zach Johnson, and co-hosting with me, as always, was Sam Cherry. You can find us on any...
No. You started over. You said... You just welcomed them to the show.
I did. Oops.
You did.
My bad.
The outro.
Yeah. We're not starting over? Okay. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Solve It. I'm Zach Johnson, and my co-host is Sam Cherry. You can find us on any number of our social media sites, or you can get in contact with us at gmail.com/solveitpodcast, or our Instagram or our Twitter, or any number of things. Join us next week when Sam teaches us how to use the 7 deadly sins to solve what's in the box.
What's in the box?
Thanks. Bye.
I think that's very funny.
That was very funny.
What's in the box?
Cool. I need to go to sleep.
All right, me too. See you, bye.
See you. Bye.
See you, Sophie.
Bye, Sophie.